So I also I have my parents roll a perception check to see if they hear this expletive-filled rant?
They're probably just ignoring things. They know that Gizil can be kind of raunchy sometimes. I mean, he worked for him for a long time, so they know that if there was an issue, you would yell for him. But they
were the people I was working for.
Yeah.
Screw it. I screwed them to my whole. I want to go off and be like, you know what, Tim? Since we're going on a little adventure, I've screwed your parents for all these years. They've given me countless dollars upon dollars that I didn't deserve.
You know what? I'm going to drink my strength potion and just go for Giz at this point. I've just had enough. Drink a little bit, not a lot, but just a little sip, so I have strength for a little.
Yeah, I mean, you have it for like a matter of seconds.
Okay, for a few seconds, but I just rush at Giz and I just slam him against the wall.
As he's doing that, can I drink my gray potion at all?
Oh, jeez.
Hold on. No, your arms are still being kind of held in place, Quinn.
So am I rolling an advantage or what's going on?
No, I'm rolling strength to stop him.
Okay, I was gonna say I'm
imagine like two little kids trying to fight each other and
I know what
pushing them apart from each other.
But I'm stronger, right? I mean the normal. What do I roll for strength?
Yeah, roll. Okay, so roll your intelligence.
Okay.
It's gonna sound odd, but there's a reason for it. And then
nat 20.
Oh man. And then what are you doing exactly, Tim?
Well, first I'm like trying to get Jimmy away, like not in a mean way, but just like get him away, and then I'm trying to slam Gizil against the wall because I'm really, really angry that he's just saying all this stuff about my parents and he's cheated them and I've just had it. I'm generally pretty calm, but I flipped.
All right, this is what happens. You managed to push Jimmy out of the way a little bit, and he lets go of Gizil, but then as soon as that happens, the strength runs out.
And I immediately grab both of them again.
All right.
Even though I got a nat 20?
Yeah, I mean, you pushed a big, giant lizard dude out of the way, which is pretty impressive, but...
Especially for a week.
It was only going to last a couple seconds for drinking a sip, so... Yeah, everybody do a strength check. And as soon as you push him out of the way, he dives forward and grabs both of you, and everyone is on the ground right now, but he's holding both of you, like Quinn in one arm, or Gizil in one arm, and Terrin in the other arm, and he's just holding you real tight, like you can't even move at all.
You can't say that about my parents, you jerk. You steal from my parents, you steal from Granny, you steal from Professor Oak, you set places on fire, you're as bad a bully as Bert.
Skyler,
just in different ways.
Skyler, when I know I have a good grasp on both of them, I'm just going to stand up and just like sit on the bed while these two just hash it out.
Okay.
You know I'm a thief. My goal in life is to become the king of thieves, which I've shared.
Well, maybe you shouldn't steal from my parents and from Granny.
Your parents had it coming for them.
You jerk. Haven't you heard about honor among thieves? Doesn't honor and goodness mean anything to you? You're supposed to be good. You're supposed to be my friend. You're not
I do everything for
jerk.
The team. I'm stealing this so that we have 30 more gold, which is 30 more Pokeballs that we can buy on the way.
Good of the team. What about the good of everyone else? Huh? What about that?
Well,
what about the good of the community?
Pretty sure I've shared to you guys. Whatever needs to be done to further my interest, I'm going to do it.
You know, Giz, I just can't handle you. You're just a jerk sometimes. And then you rip pages on my book and accuse me of stuff. And
to be fair, I wasn't actually strong enough to rip the pages out of your book.
You tried. You
Trying and succeeding are two different things.
Why don't you go tell my parents you've been stealing from them? How about that? How's that sound? How would that make you feel?
I mean, I've already stolen from them, so there's not much they can do about it.
You know what? I'm going to call them up here right now and have them tell them what you told me.
Okay, call them.
Like, Mom, Dad, Gizil has something to tell you.
And
I call down.
Yeah, they come up. You hear footsteps come upstairs, and then the door open, and your parents walk in, Agatha and Corbin, and
I have a question.
Okay.
Am I able at this point? Would I be able to take the gold coin and sneak it like behind his bed because we're sitting like on his bed? Would I be able to like sneak
the gold cookie?
The gold cookie.
No, you are like completely restrained right now. Both are. Like you can't move at all. Like he's like pro wrestler got you guys like pinned to his side. You might be able to like kick one of your feet, but that's the most.
I might be able to kick. Can I convince Jimmy to let me go at all? Or
I mean, you can try.
Hey Jimmy.
You better roll persuasion.
What?
Because he won't do it
I'd like to go and talk to his parents and tell them about the wrongdoings I've done to them.
Oh, they're coming.
They're already in there, Jimmy.
Yeah, they just walked. They walked up and they're like, "What is going on in here? Like, why are you guys being so noisy? Like, what is the big deal? We got work in the morning."
Parents, I need to apologize for you. And does he let me go at this point?
No.
Jimmy, let me go apologize and
You can apologize right in front of them while I hold you. And I imagine like when the parents come in, they just see me just holding both of them under my arms. It's just like all of us just like staring up at them.
It's really awkward. I mean, Terrin doesn't like look in any kind of like danger. He was really calm about calling them up, so they're not like freaking out at it. They're just like they're not like, oh my gosh, like he's hauling up. You know, they're just like, what is it you?
I think they would tell me to put them down.
Yeah, they didn't even. Yeah, they're not like concerned.
And when they get in,
am I down right now?
Yeah, when they come in, I immediately let go of you two.
Oh, okay.
I want to show immense shame, and I fall and I go over into a corner of the room, and I'm sitting there crying in a corner, and I want to take the gold cookie and sneak it behind one of his dressers or something.
Can I roll a perception check?
Roll a perception check. Quinn, roll a sleight of hand, I guess.
That's me.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's you.
Oh, you rolled a good proof.
Nice. All right. Yeah, you don't notice anything, Terrin. You're focused on like your parents and stuff.
But you notice it?
Yeah, definitely. Jimmy notices.
Okay, so Jimmy notices. I don't.
I can't do anything in this game without someone screwing me over.
Did I say
really
anything?
well. I mean, the parents don't notice either. So
I didn't say anything.
yeah, he didn't say anything.
All right, so I don't have the gold cookie on me no more, and I want to go to the parents, and I want to say, I'm sorry. I tried to stop him, but he's stealing from Granny using his powers, and he's got the gold cookie behind his desk.
I had a feeling you might do that. Oh, now what is Corey going to do about this?
And the parents are like really confused. They're like, "What are you guys? Is this some game that you guys came up with? Like, can we go back to bed?"
Terrin stole a gold piece worth 30 gold.
It's a gold piece worth 30, but one gold piece is worth 1 gold.
Right, but this is a special piece that Granny had. It's worth 30 gold. It's solid gold, and I will show it to you. It's hidden behind his desk.
Okay, so he stole, is what you're telling me. Terrin, why would you steal something?
So I guess I'm going to have to roll persuasion unless Jimmy wants to say something.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead and roll the persuasion there. Wait. First say what you're saying and then roll persuasion.
Okay, look, I'm guessing, I didn't see it, but I'm sure that Quinn planted that behind my dresser because he stole.
Who is Quinn?
The cookie. Or
Quinn.
Gizzle. Sorry.
Where did you get Quinn as a name from me?
Gizzle. Stole that, and I can call the city guard. You can ask the city guard, and you can ask Granny who did that, and they'll tell you.
And they're like, okay. I I don't know what's going on at all.
I mean, they are my parents. Do I roll an advantage or do I just roll a? I feel
they're honestly, I mean, with advantage or not, they're just really confused right now. They're so like, so something was stolen from Granny's, and they think one of you guys did it, or what's going on?
Okay. And so I say, Jimmy, why don't we let Jimmy explain what happened? I think he'll be honest.
Okay. So we sent Giz on a little adventure to go meet a guy named Bill.
From the beginning?
And, well, he brought Bill back, and Bill was a Eevee, which is a Pokemon of sorts. And, Bill also had all these potions with him, and, we found out that Bill turned himself into an Eevee, and we turned him back into a person with the help of the professor. And then in the process, we found out all these cool potions, which they're letting us test out and stuff, like these cool nifty ones I've got here. Anyways, one of them let us have Midas touch, and we used it on these cookies Granny gave us. And, well, Giz went walking into the store with one of these golden cookies and accidentally dropped it, and Granny picked it up. Well, he didn't think it was fair that Granny had a cookie that he turned into gold when it was rightfully his, so he snuck in later that night and he took it back for himself because it was rightfully his. But the sheriff caught him doing it, and he had to take off for it. And so we've been hiding in here, and that's where we are now.
And Quinn's parents, they look like they just kind of have their mouth like open just a little bit, and their eyes are kind of squinting, like they're just kind of like, what in the world? Like, you know, the whole time that you're explaining this. And then at the end of it, they say, you guys are adults. Can you guys solve this without us? We want to go back to bed.
So they start turning around and leaving?
Yeah, they are like waiting for confirmation.
All right, we all shake our heads, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
All right, and as they're leaving,
They go back to bed.
hang on. As they're leaving, I mumble under my breath. Also, I've stolen from you $100.
Do they hear that? Hold on. So they roll
Agatha turns
perception.
around and she says, what? What do you mean?
Nothing.
Good night. Good night.
Talking to
She says, I very clearly heard you say you stole from us like a lot
That is what he said.
of gold.
Because that's what he did. I'm going to
Maybe.
say, Mom, he did do that. He's told me he did that just now. That's why I was mad. And that's why I told him to come up and apologize for.
Oh my god. I'm cracking up over here.
There's only so much I can do for you, Quinn.
Yeah, well, especially if you're going to mumble under your breath, like, I did that. That's hilarious, though. That's great.
And I appreciate the money, too.
And they're like, well, what do you mean you stole items or what?
Apparently, you don't check Angie's list because you paid me a little bit more than you should have a couple times.
She's like, we paid you what we felt you were worth.
All right, well, then I didn't steal from you, did I?
They're like, I suppose not.
All right, have a good night then. Good night.
All right. You too. And they go back to bed. She didn't seem very happy about it, but they went back to bed.
Yeah.
I imagine they're not very happy about it. Oh, man.
I'm not happy with you either because you're a thief.
Okay, and I look at
Well,
them
they know it's you now.
after they leave.
Okay.
And I go, okay. Well, I'm going to go to sleep, but
I'm going to take the cookie back to Grandma's because it's her cookie.
no, we're going to keep it. But you go.
Who has the cookie right now?
Quinn does.
What's behind the dresser, right?
Yeah, he knew where it was. I did too, but I just didn't believe it.
Because you're the least suspicious out of all of us. Now that Tim's parents might suspect him of stealing it, they might do something. And Garth thinks it was me because he saw me do it. And there might be some way to convince him that Tim used magic or something. But if you hold on to it, if they search both of us, there's no way that they're going to find it, and we might be able to explain it off that.
I'll hide it on my person. I'm a big person, so there's a lot of places I can hide it.
Hide it in your carrot hole.
Anyways, I saved both of your butts here, and now I'm going to bed. Please
Thank you, Jimmy. You're a good friend, Jimmy.
Don't cuss.
Unlike some friends.
And I grab.
I want to take out my dagger and just show it at him.
I grab Giz.
I mean, like, if you ever double cross me again, that'd be the last breath you take.
Like, does he even know for sure I double crossed him, his character?
He's just pretty solidly assuming. I mean, in his head, he thinks that you did.
I imagine as, like, I'm dragging Giz out of the room, he's, like, pulled out his knife. He's, like, threatening Terrin while I'm dragging him out.
Okay.
So Giz is going back to bed?
Yep.
Hold on.
You're typing again, Tim. I can see it.
I might be typing again, but you don't know what I'm typing.
Anyway. Giz,
all right.
When I'm taking Giz out of the house, I'm like, hey, you want back in the pack again?
Yeah, I'm just like screaming and like craziness as I'm like walking out the door. It's just like, I'm just like screaming. Like I am pissed off. Like I am beyond pissed off. And I am just screaming my head off. And I'm like, I'm like an Afghan terrorist just going, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, we saw that again.
Cameron, it's slash then W.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that was bad. Wow, that was fail.
He's yelling, and then you just hear him yelling into the distance. As he's in my pack.
And then, Quinn, you just put that out there.
I know, I was just doing that to make fun of Tim.
Oh, okay. All right, so then everybody goes back to their respective beds and sleeps for the rest of the night.
The next morning, our friends met up and were able to quickly make it past their differences from the night before. All of this just before the town officer and two ragged-looking trainers rushed up to them. The two trainers were members of Annie's team, Annie being Terrin's fiancée, and the guard informed them that Annie had been kidnapped by a pair of thugs along Route 1. Terrin became infuriated, and his two allies agreed to help him figure out who these ruffians were and where they had taken his love. Thanks to the previous encounter they experienced with thugs on Route 1, the gang was able to narrow down the culprits to Bert and Buster, the two half-dwarf sons of Farmer Bo. Inquiring the two hooligans' father and searching their rooms, they were fairly certain that the two were holed up inside of a small cabin just off of Route 1. It took half a day to get there, but nothing was stopping our adventurers from rescuing this damsel in distress. Upon finding the cabin, which appeared to be dark and unused for some time, noticed just enough light flowing through a single window, revealing Annie inside. Gizil snuck in quietly and began to help Annie, who quickly told him to hide amongst the darkness because the two brothers had set a trap for anyone who might try to rescue them. With a blast of electricity from his Pikachu, Terrin jumped in through the window and illuminated the entire room, revealing the evildoers, and so the fight began. It didn't take long for the three trainers and their Pokémon to dispatch the villains and rescue the poor girl, returning her home where they all rested up to finally start out on their Pokémon journey